All right, let's talk about growing on LinkedIn. You've probably heard it a million times. You got to post every single day, no excuses. Well, today we're going to tear that advice apart. We're going to look at why a smarter, more strategic approach isn't just better for your growth, it's a heck of a lot better for your sanity too. Let's get into it. So, let me just ask you this right up front. What if that daily grind, that constant pressure to come up with something, anything, to post, what if that's the very thing that's holding you back? I know, it sounds totally backward, but just stick with me here. The algorithm and, reality tell a completely different story. I mean, this idea is everywhere, right? It's the go-to advice from all the growth gurus. More content equals more visibility. The thinking is, if you're just always there, always in the feed, you're bound to break through. But this whole philosophy completely ignores two massive factors that can they can sabotage everything you're trying to do. And what are those two factors? It's the algorithm you're desperately trying to impress and the very, very real human cost of creator burnout. So let's just bust this post-daily myth wide open by looking at how these two forces are actually working against you. Okay, this slide right here gets to the absolute core of the big misunderstanding. The myth is that LinkedIn is all about frequency, a numbers game. But the reality? The algorithm is way smarter than that. It's basically a quality detector. It doesn't care how many times you post, it cares about how deeply people are engaging with each post. It's looking for real conversations, not just you punching a clock every day. And the math on this it's so simple, but so powerful. Think about it. One single post that gets people talking, that sparks a real, thoughtful conversation. That one post is infinitely more valuable than an entire week of posts that just, land with a thud. Deep quality engagement, that's the real currency on LinkedIn. And beyond the algorithm, there's you, the human. This cycle, I bet this looks pretty familiar to anyone who's tried to post daily. The excitement's there at first, but then the well of ideas starts to run dry. Pretty soon, you're just rehashing old stuff. And by the end of the month, you're just toast. You're exhausted and you feel like you failed. It's a system designed for burnout, not for sustainable growth. So, if posting every day is a trap, what's the way out? Well, it's something called the 3-post power system. It's a completely different way of thinking, focused on getting you the biggest impact possible with the least amount of burnout. And here's what that system looks like. It's so beautifully simple. Monday, you teach something, you share your expertise, build that authority. Wednesday, you tell a story, maybe a case study, you connect with people on a human level. And then on Friday, you drop a hot take, something a little provocative that's really designed to get a conversation started. See? Every single post has a specific job to do. Now, here is the really crucial part. By spacing your posts out, you're actually giving each one room to breathe. When you post every day, you're basically killing yesterday's post before it's had a chance to really take off. This way, you can actually spend time in the comments, nurturing that conversation, really driving engagement long before you even think about posting again. Okay, now this is where the whole system becomes a superpower. Because the days you don't post, those are not days off. They're actually your most strategic days. They are your chance to multiply your visibility without burning through a single one of your own ideas. So here's your new mission on your off days. Find 15 to 20 posts from other people in your field and leave a thoughtful, meaningful comment. And I'm not talking about just dropping a great post. I mean adding real value, pushing the conversation forward. So why is this so crazy effective? Well, first, you're showing up in front of new, highly relevant audiences on someone else's dime. You're building real relationships with your peers. You're actually stumbling upon new ideas for your own content. You become known as someone who's an active, valuable part of the community, all while saving your best stuff for your own 3 killer posts a week. Now, just to be super clear, I'm not saying that posting daily is always bad. There is one specific time when it makes a ton of sense, but you have to think about it differently. It's not a marathon, it's a very specific short-term sprint. This is the 30-day sprint. It's an amazing tool for when you're launching something big, a new product, a service, whatever. You go all in, high intensity, to create a ton of buzz. But the most important word here is temporary. This is a tactic with a clear beginning and a clear end. It is not a sustainable, long-term way to live. And this, right here, is what it all boils down to. We need to completely redefine what consistency means on LinkedIn.
It's not about the robotic, mindless act of posting every day. It's about the reliable, trusted habit of showing up with something that has real value, something that actually makes people stop scrolling and think.
So I'll leave you with this question. This strategy, it doesn't just get you better results. It gives you back the most valuable thing you have, your time. You've just freed up 4 entire days of your week. So the only question left is, how are you going to use that time to really grow?